Hi guys, J-Boy here, bringing you a Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Now this video today is going to show you how to get one of the rare pistols in the game. So when I say rare pistols, these are one-of-a-kind pistols that you can't buy in stores and you can only find at this exact location. Now this pistol's not found through a treasure hunt or through doing missions. It's actually Micah's pistol, so I've got it equipped at the moment. It's called Micah's revolver. If I go to maintain, you can see it there. It's actually quite kind of worn looking. It's a really cool pistol though. It's got one of the best stats for a pistol in the game, if not the best. I think it might actually be the best pistol in the game, so it's certainly one that you want to get, and just for the significance of it being Micah's pistol, I think it's pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how you can get that, guys. Some of you may already know this, but if you've clicked on this video, I presume it's because you don't know where to get this pistol. So I'm going to bring up the map right here. So I'm actually probably the furthest I could be away from it at the moment. What you want to do, guys, is you want to go all the way up to the Grizzlies West area, and there's this area here which is right at the top of Mount Hagen, and you just want to put a waypoint right in that spot there. I'm actually going to take the stagecoach now and go to Valentine, and then I will actually pick this video up when I'm at Mount Hagen. So I know I said I'd pick the video back up when we were at Mount Hagen, but I just wanted to tell you guys, I forgot to say that you may want to change what your character's wearing and make sure you bring a warm coat, wear some sort of warm hat as well if you've got one, like this fetching skunk hat that I've got on at the moment. It's going to get cold up there, and the last thing you want to do is get up to the mountains and have to come back because your character's too cold. So I'll meet you at the top. See you in a sec. So those of you who have completed the final mission of the game, American Venom, will recognise this scene right here that we're heading down to. This is where you fight through all of Micah's men and finally end up with a confrontation between yourself and Micah, and then Dutch gets involved and we all know what happens. It is worth saying that I've just checked the time because I noticed that the weather was starting to get slightly gloomy. It's probably worth making sure that you can come here in the morning or in the daytime just to kind of take everything in and actually be able to see everything. So this is actually really interesting, guys. I've come up here for the third time. I was actually expecting to be able to show you Micah's body, but this is the third time I've been up here. The first two times Micah's body was there. Obviously the first time he was right here, and the revolver that I've now got was sat to the left of his left hand because he's facing face down in the ground, and you simply just pick it up and then you get this revolver. So I'll show you the revolver again. It's one of the best revolvers in the game, and just coming up here is kind of quite interesting once you finish the last mission of the epilogue. And something I've just discovered: the first two times I came up here while Micah's body was there, I was unable to get into this shack, and it now seems like this shack is opened for me to be able to go into. This is literally the first time I've been in here, so this is kind of live exploring with you guys, because the first time I pushed open the door and realised that I could actually go in, and I kind of wanted to just wait for the video and explore. So I don't actually know what we'll find, because the first time I came this was locked, and I was kind of hoping that we might be able to retrieve some further gold, but obviously I wasn't able to. So let's see if there is anything up here. It obviously looks like some people have been sort of sleeping up here. I don't know whether that's Dutch and Micah or Micah on his own. I've got different kind of theories on that. I think the kind of common consensus is that Dutch came up here to kill Micah and wasn't necessarily with Micah and his gang, which would kind of make sense because the last we saw of Dutch was him kind of turning his back on Micah. And I think that's true of whether you played with high or low honour. The last kind of act Dutch does is to walk away from Micah, so it wouldn't really make sense that they'd been up here, you know, still in the same gang. So it looks like the only thing that you can actually pick up from that shack is this Valerian root, which gives you Deadeye experience. I suppose that's better than nothing. Obviously the main reason for coming up here for most of you would be to collect Micah's gun. So if you haven't done that, make sure that you do that as soon as you finish the epilogue, because now I'm starting to wonder whether if you leave it too long, perhaps you lose the ability to ever get Micah's gun. I really hope that's not the case, because I think that would be quite harsh on some players who maybe just, you know, have loads of stranger missions, have loads of other things they want to do before kind of going into those in-depth details of the game. And other than that, you can kind of just roam around this area, check out the camp that's been left behind. There's nothing too interesting. It is nice to come back to this part of the map though. I was able to find a huge moose on the way up, and you can find lots of grizzly bears. So if you enjoy hunting for animals that you don't kind of necessarily bump into in other areas of the map, then it's definitely worth a trip up here. I hope that video is useful to some of you guys. Some people may already know that you can get Micah's pistol there, but for those of you who don't, it's definitely a pistol that you will be wanting to add to your collection, and it's just an interesting trip up to those kind of abandoned shacks where the final sort of showdown takes place. So it's an intriguing place to check out. And obviously from what I've just discovered, the scenery also, people have obviously been there because Micah's body has been removed and the shack has now been reopened. I know if you watch the credits that you see 2 kind of federal agents have been up there, so whether that's them I'm not sure, but it kind of adds to the intrigue of the whole thing. Please like the video and subscribe if you want further content. I will be releasing lots more Red Dead content and possibly GTA content once I get back into the online there. At the moment I'm kind of solidly into this game because there's just so much for me to explore. Thanks guys.